So, are you ready to do phase 2 with us? It's been a while. Welcome back to me, to you guys. There's a queue of about 16 YouTube videos awaiting to go on YouTube, and this will be the first one. And this will talk about if you, the person who is watching right now, is ready to come on the journey with us to phase 2. Now I'm gonna have another video in the future about what phase 2 is and what phase 3 is, but essentially phase 1 is done. Phase 1 was Doc testosterone, all the boosting testosterone, pickup, masculinity, all that stuff. You know, motivation, inspiration, blah, 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 girls, fitness, weight loss, hair, beard, blah, 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 blah. All that is done. If you still want to learn about that, there's 305 videos on YouTube on our channel talking about all this stuff. So go watch those or go watch other YouTubers, right? So if you want to learn about weightlifting, go to Elliot Hulse. He started lifting again and he's making some amazing videos. You want to learn about intermittent fasting, go watch Kino Body. You want to talk about getting ripped and doing, cool exercises, go see Brandon Carter, and also for some entertainment on Brandon Carter's channel. If you want to learn about girls and all that, go to RSD Max or some other RSD instructor, which is amazing. They're all amazing. But we're done with all that. This is what we call some things that are more superficial, more low level. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not against it. I think that's great. I think it is a very, very important first step, first phase towards self-development. But for us now, we are entering phase 2. So I want to ask you if you are ready. So let me talk a little bit about what phase 2 is all about. First and foremost, phase 2 is about taking risks. It is about overcoming fear. It is about decision making. How do you make the decisions you make and why do you make them? What kind of mentality do you have to go through to make them? What kind of challenges do you have to give yourself? And in the future, I'm gonna give you some challenges to actually be able to take that risk and to get your mind prepared and in the habit of taking risk when risks are presented to you in everyday life. So in the coming videos, I'm going to be talking about how I meet every single RSD instructor, how I met them, how I became their friend, how I immersed myself into different types of tribes, how I became the leader of very many tribes in the past, be it RSD or the Elliot Hulse guys, or entrepreneurship, social media, testosterone, fitness, how I got to meet so many people, interview every single one of them. And I mean, look, the proof of all this stuff is in our channel. It's in the video. So there's nothing for me to prove to you. It's all there. All I need to do now is convey to you how I did all that. So if you're interested in learning how to infiltrate in a good way different tribes, you want to establish a social circle which you are the leader of. How do you do that? How do you establish connection that is authentic with somebody? How do you provide value to somebody in the way that they want instead of how you would like it to be? How do you take advantage of those few seconds, those half a second times when you have to make a quick decision and it is either a do or die for you? How do you do all that? So those kinds of questions will be answered in phase 2, which we called risk and decision making and more higher level thinking. Because without that, without establishing those habits, and even more importantly, getting rid of the bad habits that you have in your life right now, that will enable you to go to that next level of self-development, of self-improvement. Now, some logistical things. If you want to go join our Facebook group, this is a brand new group. It is called the Biggest Balls in the Game. Balls with a Z, okay? Now, we welcome women as well to this group. I know the channel so far has been very man dominated. I think it's like 96% men or something crazy like that. We don't want that, okay? Because in terms of decision making, risk taking, women are on our team. We are all in the same fucking species. So I don't want this 96 to 4%. I want 50-50. Okay? We want that balance. We want that diversity. We want that. We want that pluralism in our tribe. So I welcome women. If you're a girl or a woman watching this, go join our Facebook group as well. It's called The Biggest Balls in the Game. Not the biggest balls in the game, balls with a Z and not an S. It's not testicles or, you know, that kind of thing. It's like biggest balls. Like, we want to get the biggest balls in the game. And the game is life. It is living. It is energy. It is what we do day to day. It is our universal being. That's what game is now for us. Okay, so go join that Facebook group ASAP. The next thing is what the next video will be about. So the first video in this series, well, after this one, is going to be about how I met RSD Tyler. It is an amazing story. It happened 4 years ago when my biggest balls in the game story started, and I'm going to break all this down little by little. Remember exactly what happens in my brain when I approach people that are very famous or that have celebrity status, which are idols for many people. How do I get myself in the physical, social, mental, spiritual, metaphysical, emotional mindset, heart set to approach and dominate and fulfill myself in a very authentic, genuine, loving way, right? This is not about manipulation, about deceit, none of that stuff. It is about really providing genuine value and friendship and love to people that we meet, so we have those friendships and bonds forever. And every single one of the people I'm going to talk about, I'm still a very, very good friend of theirs. We're still in the same tribe. We're still in that same mindset, in that same bond. And that is what you want to do. You want to preserve these relationships. You don't want to burn any bridges. So look out for that next video. It's going to be how I met RSD Tyler, how I started my journey to getting the biggest balls in the game. Go join the Facebook group, subscribe to the channel, thumbs up if you like this video, and share this with your friends, and comment below. Let me know, what would you like to hear in terms of biggest balls in the game? Who do you want to hear from? What stories do you want to hear? You must have seen something on the channel in the past and said, how did Farhan do that? How did he do this exact thing? What went on in his mind, in his heart, in his body? What was his consciousness like at that time or before that when he tried to accomplish this very tough looking task? Let me know and I will answer that question for you very soon. See you next time. This is Farhan.